In this lecture, we wanted to try our box container class with algorithms that expect output iterators. And we are going to be using the copy algorithm as a use case here. So we're going to set up a box container object, nothing complicated here. We're going to print that out. We're going to set up another box container object, which is going to be of the same size as our source box container. And using the features we have now, we're just going to set up another one and add some dummy data to make sure they have the same sizes. And we are doing this because the destination collection needs to have the same size as the source collection. What the copy algorithm is going to do is just copy from a slot in the source collection and paste in the same slot in the destination collection. But before the copy algorithm works, you have to make sure the sizes are the same. So that's your responsibility here. And that's why we are doing what we do here. And one thing that is going to surprise you is that the state the box container class was in the last lecture is enough for it to work with the copy algorithm. And that's going to work because the copy algorithm really need the dereference operator through which we can go to modify the data. And you notice that what we are returning here is a non-const reference here. So we can go through this reference and modify the underlying data. So the copy algorithm is going to work out of the box with the box container as we had it from the last lecture. Now that you know this, we're going to head over to Visual Studio Code and play with this a little more. Here we are in our working folder. The current project is custom output iterator. That's what we want to play with. I think we can just copy the code from the last lecture and use that as a starting point. This is going to save us a few seconds. So we're going to put the code in here. And we are going to open this in Visual Studio Code by dragging and dropping here. Make sure it is the correct project. And we have our box container class, which has our iterator. We just put this in the last lecture. And we want to try this out. So let's go to our main function and clean up a little bit. Do we need to remove the box container code? I don't think we do. So what we're going to do is remove the rest. The find algorithm thing here, we can remove this. And we are going to set up a destination box container. We're going to do it just like this. We're going to set up a box container of int. We're going to call it box2. And we're just going to loop around calling the add method. And we're going to loop for a number equal to the size of the first box here. This is going to give us a destination box containing just dummy data. It's just going to be containing zeros. So we're going to print box2 before we copy through it. And then we're going to copy, and then we're going to print out box2 after we paste data from our source collection here. And one thing that is going to surprise you is that this is going to work out of the box. Why? Because our box container is providing an iterator with a dereference operator through which we can go to write data. And that's exactly what is needed by the copy algorithm. It needs to go through this destination collection iterator to write data back into the collection. And this is really cool. Let's pass this through the compiler. We can use GCC. It is going to work just fine. The build is good. We can bring up a terminal window and let's clear out of this and run Rooster. And we're going to see that before we copy in the data, box2 contained a bunch of zeros. But after we paste in the data from the source collection, we're going to see that our copy is going to contain the same data we had in our initial box. And this is really cool. And this is really what I wanted you to see here. Our box container is powerful enough to work with the copy algorithm from the ranges library. Again, this is also going to work if you don't use ranges. So let's just look at an example here. We're going to say std copy. We're going to specify the beginning and end of the source collection, and then we're going to specify the beginning of the destination collection. This is also going to work. Let's pass this through the GCC compiler. You're going to see that this is going to work. And this is also going to work if we use the ranges version and specify a range instead of an iterator pair. So we can say box1, I think we can say that here. And if we build and run, I think this is going to work. Let's pass this through the compiler. The build is good. This is working exactly as we want. You can see that box container now can be used with range algorithms. And this is really cool. This is really all I wanted you to see in this lecture. We're going to stop here in this one. In the next one, we're going to play with a bunch of algorithms that expect forward iterators, and we're going to see how that plays out with our box container class as it is right now. Go ahead and finish up here and meet me in the next lecture.